Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Union. This is my new baby, my little baby boy, and I've named him Romy, short for Romeo, and I keep accidentally calling him Roomy as well, and I will get his little body turned around in a moment when he's more comfortable. And having him, obviously, I'm not going to get as passionate. I'm going to keep my energy very cool and relaxed because I don't want to scare him, but he is such a little love bug and I adore him. And I want to use the experience of me manifesting him as a lesson for you guys because it is a really good lesson of how what you want already wants you. The what you're drawn to in your life, the things that you're inspired to have, be, do, all of those ends exist already. And when it feels very strong inside of you and just feels kind of natural, that you can just pretty much count on that feeling in itself as the proof that you can have whatever it is that you want. So I'm going to use how I ended up with him as a perfect example of that your desire always desires you, what you want wants you, or you wouldn't want it. And also, there was a little bit of something that I experienced, and I started to find myself start to almost write a story that could have gone against me having him, both in the time that I wanted and just in general, and how I handled that in basically seeing a harmonious outcome where me and the other person involved we were completely in sync and in trust of each other. So this is obviously the breeder that I got him from. If anything else comes up naturally in the video, of course, I will add it. But before I do get into this, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you love my content. If you want me to be your coach, email me a short description to kim@coreunion.com, and I will reply back to you with my next available session. You can do a 30-minute or a package. The package is what most people do prefer. When you do book your session with me, you won't hear back from me for 2 to 3 business days. If you book your session, for example, on a Friday, you probably won't hear back from me with a session date until the following Monday or Tuesday. If it's through the weekend, then you won't hear back from me potentially till Tuesday or Wednesday, and so on and so forth, just because I'm responding to people in the order that I receive things, and I'm scheduling people in the order that people have booked with me at my website, coreunion.com. Okay, so I had this desire. It's like I felt that kind of my biological clock ticking. This was months ago. I was talking to Hannah about it, and I was feeling really guilty because me and Bella, like Felix is an incredibly independent dog, and me and Bella are super, super, super close, and we always will be. So I was starting to feel guilty that she would feel left out and abandoned and rejected if I got another dog. And Hannah was saying, babe, like you can't worry about that. Our house is going to be filled with love. And so everybody's going to get equal love. You can't worry about that. So, okay, so a couple months passes, and I don't know, maybe it was, let's just say 2 or 3 weeks ago. Oh my God, he's getting nervous. Let's say it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was talking to my mom, and even though I had put it on hold, getting the dog, something that my mom said made me realize that I actually still really do want to get the dog. So I worked out some of my own things. I realized that I was projecting my own fears of abandonment and rejection onto my little Bella, that of course Hannah was correct. And my mother also said the same thing, like Bella will be fine. I'm sure you'll be able to give them both love. It'll be okay. Everybody will be happy. And my mother was basically saying how she felt that it would be very harmonious and everybody would get along. So again, reflecting everything that I was feeling and thinking. So I start looking on a website. You need to like take this as an example of manifestation, and it can be applied to your specific person, any kind of a relationship with anybody, and in any kind of situation at all. I started looking and I got really clear on basically exactly what he looks like. This was kind of the size, the coloring, and everything that I wanted and that I saw in my mind. In my mind's eye, this is exactly what I saw that I wanted way back when I was talking to Hannah. So now I'm looking at websites and I made the decision, I'm just going to go do it. I'm going to do it. So I'm looking at different websites. Let's say I looked over 4 or 5 websites of Chihuahua breeders. And I keep seeing this little Chihuahua named Little Man. And he was so, 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 so cute. And then I was just kind of putting it on hold, still feeling myself out, making sure that I'm getting clear that this is what I want. So a couple days back and forth. And then when I looked again, I couldn't find Little Man anymore. But I did find the breeder of Little Man, and I saw that there was another dog named Chance. And Chance was almost as cute as Little Man. So I wasn't feeling like I missed out on anything. So I went ahead and I emailed her and I asked her if Chance was still available. She said yes. We exchanged information. She sent me a contract. I wasn't like head over heels in love with Chance, but it felt good. And so I went ahead and I went forward with it. I sent her the deposit right away. And then actually before I even needed to, I went ahead and I paid for him in full because I'm busy and I just didn't feel like having to worry about going back and forth. She's a very busy woman, so sometimes I wasn't hearing back from her. We agreed that I was going to, so this was last week, early in the week, we agreed that I would have Chance picked up for the weekend, which now I'm in the weekend. And she was fine with it. Now I ask her for pictures and videos of Chance today because the pictures that I saw of him was when he was probably only about 8 to 12 weeks and he was super tiny. She sent me the videos and the picture. And something like as cute as he was, oh my God, he's so cute. As cute as he was, something wasn't hitting me right. And my heart sunk. And it's not that my heart sunk over, I shouldn't be doing this. It was specifically about him. Here's the key now. When I was looking at the videos, now from my perspective at that time, Little Man was gone and Chance was the one that I was getting. When I was looking at the videos, there was a dog over to the right that I was pretty sure was Chance. But then there was a puppy over to the left side that my heart just kept getting pulled towards. And I kept almost hoping, like, I hope that that's not Chance. And my heart just kept going to the one on the left. The more pictures she sent, the more I realized that Chance isn't actually the dog that I want. So we were like, I think it was probably last Wednesday or something. I'm a little blurry on it, but I literally had to send her an email and or a text. I said, I'm awfully sorry, but I'm taken back by the size of Chance. He's a little bigger than I expected because my dog Bella is very tiny and I want the dog to be really tiny. So I just kind of put it out there and let her know, like, I'm basically not going to be moving forward with Chance. She replied back to me a couple times. And before you know it, she said, well, I have another, this is so funny. I have another one who's half the size. He was the smallest of the litter. He's 1.11 ounces, which I was like 111. And immediately my heart went bing. And I said, okay, awesome. I want to know more. And she said, his name is Little Man. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I said to myself, here it is. This is how manifestation works. So I knew in that moment that Little Man must have been the one that I kept looking at in the video, hoping it was him. So without saying, oh my God, I saw him and I fell in love with him and I thought he was gone, without bringing up anything at all, I literally just went with it and I said, then yes, I would like to get Little Man instead. So we made the agreement. And now, if you remember, I was going to have Chance picked up on within a couple days and she was okay with it. So now the next day we're going back and forth and she's basically telling me because of Little Man's size, she's not going to let him go this soon and she's going to wait a little bit. And so now I start to feel a little bit of a fear and a story come up because now I'm attached. Even though I've already experienced that the one that I actually wanted now is mine, now I'm getting fearful and attached that she is attached to Little Man and maybe she's changing her mind. So immediately I go into the story that we are completely in sync, that she is trusting me and she's ready to let go of Little Man because she knows that Little Man is in good hands and my home is where he belongs. She said a couple more things. So, see, I got clear of what it was that I wanted. I stopped myself from telling a story that would have gone against me. As it was in the 3D, she was saying I actually couldn't have little man just yet. But I visualized having him this weekend, and I visualized her allowing him to go home on Friday for the pickup service to pick him up. Even though in the 3D, we were still texting back and forth, and she kept going against it. I told her in the 3D, I completely respected her feelings and understood her concern because I genuinely did. But I also knew deep down that she was just reflecting my own fear back to me. So all I did, instead of making it complicated and asking myself a million one questions, does this mean that I don't feel like I'm worthy of having what I want, and go down this rabbit hole of this and that? I simply got as clear as possible, crystal clear, and I stayed in that. And I constantly, no matter what she was texting me, I constantly both visualized us, me and him being together, me having him here with the dogs, seeing it happen on Friday. But I also felt into her, even though I never met her before in person. I don't know what her voice sounds like, but I literally imagined us talking and being in complete sync. And I felt, again, we're all one. So I literally could feel her feeling comfortable with me and like sensing her think, I know that he's in good hands and I have to let him go because I trust this is okay and this is right. So almost magically, Thursday afternoon came. Thursday morning, she was still going against it. Thursday afternoon came, and out of nowhere, and this would have been the last minute where I could have even arranged with the transportation service to pick him up in time on Friday. She said, let me know when you'd like to pick him up and I'll be ready. So I didn't ask questions like, but I thought you said this, I thought you said that. I simply said, okay, I'll have him picked up tomorrow morning, which was Friday morning. I didn't know yet if the transportation service would still allow it that quickly or if we were going to have to schedule for the next week. That's what I went with because that's what my end was. That's what I did. And the transportation service replied right away, we will pick him up tomorrow morning, which was Friday, 11 a.m., and have him to you by 5 p.m. when I'm done with my clients. So that's exactly what ended up happening. And now I have this little perfect little baby that is exactly who I saw here, say hi, who I saw in my mind and what I wanted in my heart. And he was the original one, little man that I fell in love with and that I wanted. So your desire always desires you, meaning your end, meaning it's not that little Romy here desires me. It's that the end exists where I was going to experience having what I desired. And in this case, it was this perfect little adorable bundle of love that I saw clearly in my mind's eye before I actually even saw him online. Okay. Then he disappeared, but it's who I actually wanted. And he was the one in the video that my heart kept getting pulled to. So it's the same way that you're like pulled towards your specific person. It was the exact same feeling that I've always had anytime anything in my reality showed up that I really wanted. Even when I first met Hannah, my mirror soul, it's the exact feeling I had when I first saw the message that he sent me when I first saw his eyes and his face. Okay. So trust the feeling that's in your heart and soul and don't trust the fears that's in your mind. Okay. You have to get to a place where you're going to stop listening to ego and start listening to God. And remember that God created you in God's image. And your human form is just the vehicle for God to create through. So when you're inspired for something in your heart of hearts and in your soul, that is meant for you. And it's as simple as that. Okay, I hope that this video helped you. It was a perfect example of how what you want wants you. What you see in your end, you will experience. And even if something opposes you over and over and over again in the 3D, you just remain in faith of your end and you allow anything that's being said that goes against the end to just let it filter through and just allow it to happen. Be appropriate in the 3D, but trust in what is in your heart and soul. So even if your specific person is saying, I don't want to be with you, I don't want to be in a relationship, you're not who I want to be with, I don't see myself with you and all of that. If it's something deep down in your soul and in your heart, you can trust in that. And of course, there are things that I would never coach somebody in, different things. Like I've had people ask me if I would help in kind of circumstances that no, I wouldn't help in. Like if there's kind of abusive things and harmful things happening, no, I'm not going to be in support of that. But there are a lot of, even with me and Hannah, when we've gone through stuff, we've both like said and done things that we don't mean. It doesn't mean that the love isn't there and that it's not true. It just meant that we triggered each other and the fears came up so we could look at them, release them and let them go. And I have to always just see things from my perspective and not think of what's happening. Like I can trust that when I'm going within and doing the inner work, that things in Hannah's reality, he's going through things as well in his own way. Okay. And that trusting and knowing that we're good, like no matter what, that's kind of where you have to be, that the time and space that you're apart, as much as you're hating it and resisting it, it's good for you. It's good for you. So anyway, I want you to comment down below that you are affirming that you know that your end exists, that you're going to trust in your soul and give Romy a bunch of love because he is so lovable and I love him so much. And he truly is a wonderful puppy. He's fit in perfectly and he's everything that I wanted. So I love you guys so much. Have an amazing day. Comment down below that you know if it's done and you trust in your heart and soul. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.